Why did Mentality join and start the wreck bot? Am I tripping?
See, you ready?
Oh, and then fucking Archie's like on my dick talking about 12, bro. If you
See,
like, yeah,
hello.
I'm ready, bro.
I bet. Do you want to give like an argument for like why morals might be objective?
Yeah, I can just give some sort of under-generation argument. So, in philosophy of action, we'd say that there are some actions that we have reason to do regardless of what we are like. So this explains why morals can't just be reduced down to states, like mental states, motivation states, whatever. And then the type of argument that I would give is something along the lines of, let's say that you're going to go to Israel in 6 months, right? And, you know, as of right now, you have no intention to learn the language. You don't want to learn the language, none of that. But in 6 months' time, you're going to want to learn the language, right? Obviously, it's going to be helpful for you in Israel. You're going to want to learn the language. You're going to want to wish you learned language at that time. Um, Now, under your position, it seems if you have no reason to learn the language, right? Because if morality is reduced to stances, and you have no stance to learn the language, or you have no intention to learn language, then you obviously have no reason to. But that would just seem to be false, right? You obviously do have a reason to. It would seem to be stance independently to learn the language of the country you're going to move to in 6 months, regardless of whether you want to or not.
Okay, so what's your point?
So it seems if there's stance independent reasons.
Okay. So what's your thoughts on then instead, in stance independent reasons, stance independent morality, right? Because when we're
Huh?
referring to, let me just finish. When we're referring to let's talk about stance independent moral fact, right? Then it's basically just categorical because it's what we call categorical stance independent moral fact, which just means categorical as in not hypothetically binding but categorically binding. And when we say stance independent, as in true independent of what anyone believes, right? So I just like have like I just don't like see any reason why we should believe in this in the sense that we have um, categorical stand independent moral facts. There's like no reason why we have to believe this because we have like no way of knowing about this, right? How is that epistemology going to affect this in a sense?
Wait, I'm confused. What's the refutation?
Okay, so my refutation, right, is you're talking about. Okay, so my refutation, right, is saying that when you're referring to stand independent fact, right, in meta ethics, we're talking about categorical stand independent facts. Do you know what that is?
Categorical stance independent moral facts? Is that what you're saying?
Categorical stand independent moral facts.
No, you can explain what that means.
Sure. So when we're talking about categorical, right, as in not hypothetically binding, we're talking about categorically binding, okay? And simply take a hypothetical binding norm. If I want to X, I ought to Y. For example, if I'm thirsty, I ought to drink water. Categorically binding norms aren't conditional on desires or goals. So it's just I ought to Y, independent of what I want. But we're referring to stance independent, that's kind of different. Stance independent as in true independent of what anyone believes, right?
What I said.
So, huh?
That the argument. Okay, look, I already explained this, right? Obviously, some sort of conditional statement that's based on an intention isn't a moral statement. So I might say, if you want to have good teeth, then you ought to brush your teeth, right? But that's not some sort of moral claim. That's just a claim about whether you want to have good teeth or not, and the best way to attain good teeth. That's not the argument I'm making. The argument I'm making is that there seems to be some reasons we have to do things independent of our stances. And then the analogy I gave was going to Israel. If I want to go to Israel in 6 months, even if I have no intention or motivation to learn the language, it would still be, I still have a reason to learn the language outside of my stances, right? So I don't know if you can respond to that.
Yeah, but anyways, like I was trying to say, I haven't finished my refutation. So, what
Yeah.
is independent, true independent of what anyone believes, right? We're referring to it's independent of what anyone believes in terms of morality, right? I just don't see any reason to believe why this morality would be true, independent of what anyone believes. So can you go ahead?
All right, look, okay. This is going to be the last time I say this because I've given the argument twice now.
You
And we
talked
haven't.
about okay, hold on. You talking about Israel and you're referring that to morality. Those are two different things. It's disanalogous.
No, because look, what a moral realist is going to say is that you have some reasons to do things independent of your desires, right? You'd agree?
Can you repeat that?
Okay, look, just listen up, okay? Because I know you have this like Archie delusion. What Archie told you is a complete lie, right? What you're describing right now is just not true. What I'm saying is, you agree that a more realist would say you have some reason to do things independent of your stances.
I don't know. What do you think, See?
That's what a moral realist is, yeah.
What do you define moral realism as then?
Well, there are going to be 3 theses to moral realism, right? Do you know what the 3 theses are?
3 what? C's?
3 theses to moral realism.
Oh, theses. All right. Go ahead.
You have the alethic thesis, which I'm pretty sure states that all moral facts are true, or some moral facts are true. You have the metaphysical thesis, which affirms that there exists some sort of moral fact. And then you have I think it's the semantic thesis, which affirms that most statements are propositional or something along those lines, right? So you have 3 theses for moral realism. If you grant all 3 of these things, you're a moral realist. And I'm saying that moral realism is distinct from some sort of I don't know, other normative fact in the sense that a moral realist believes that you have stance-independent reasons. Obviously, you have stance-dependent reasons. If Shannon wants to go to Harvard, he should study, right? That's a normative thing, right? It's an ought claim, but it doesn't imply moral realism. If you want to have good teeth, you ought to brush. If you want to go to school quickly, you ought to take the bus or the train, right? Those are still ought claims, but they aren't moral claims. The distinction is that a moral realist ought says that you have some things you ought to do regardless of your desires. And so the Israel analogy comes in because you have a reason to learn the language even if you have no desire or motivation to.
Okay, hold on. We don't ought to do. Hold on. We don't ought to learn the language, even though we don't. We don't have the desire to. There's no reason to. Are you saying that people, like, for example, don't know English in Israel? Also, I think, like, really, like, I think you're being like reductio, in a sense, because you're just reducing moral realism to 3 theses, even though we have, like, many, parts to um, moral realism. I mean, there's, like, for example, objective moral facts, cognitivism, moral knowledge, naturalist moral realism, non-naturalist moral realism, robust versus minimal moral realism. There's even arguments of moral realism, which is, I'm not going to go over that because it's not really needed. But the main criticism to it, right, that I would refer to is the argument of queerness. And if you want, we can go into that, right? But simply, you're just reducing it to something that should not be. I think reducing it in this way is way too much. So simply, you're talking about what we ought to do is, like, it's independent of our desires. But hold on. My whole point, right, is saying that I don't see any good reason to believe that analogy would make me have reason to believe, right, that morality is objective. You're not pointing out how this would make me, or how this would persuade me to believe that morals are objective.
Look, I've
Because
already
we
given
have
the
better
reasons.
reason to believe that morals are subjective. For
I've already
example, the
look,
argument from
Alex,
no,
just
no, no,
calm
no.
down.
See, see,
Wait,
see, see, no, see, 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 see. Stop,
wait,
stop,
before you give
stop
the
interrupting me.
argument,
See, stop interrupting me.
okay, I'm
I'm
just going
not
to discuss
finished.
it
I'm
again.
not finished. I gave you. See, I gave you the time. I said to you, I gave you the time to speak. Let me just finish my
Yeah,
point,
just go
right?
ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, so there's many reasons why there's, like, better reason to believe that morals are subjective. I mean, like, a basic argument for that would be the argument of queerness, which points at the fact that we'd have no way to know about morality. So how would you respond to this? See?
Yeah, so once again, it's the last time I'm gonna respond to this. Or not respond, repeat
You said that
this.
last time.
Okay. Yeah, I know, but you're just not responding, right? So look, I want
No,
to
you
get
did
your
respond.
response before you do anything. The reason why I overtalked you there was because you're not responding to anything. I've given this argument like 8 times, and you're not responding. Okay. So look,
Okay, we can keep it up.
your idea here is that you have no reasons independent of your stances. Okay. So the only things you have reasons to do are things you have either a desire or motivation to do. That's your position. Okay. I'm telling you this is incoherent because of the prudential argument or the prudential reasons argument or the generation argument. We say that, for example, if I'm going to Israel in 6 months, even if I have no desire or motivation to learn the Israeli language, I would still have a reason to do it insofar as maybe in 6 months' time I would have wanted to, right? Which means that you have some reasons independent of your stances, right? This is like the final time I'm going to repeat this argument. I want to ask you now, do you think then, it's because there's 2 options you can pick, right? The first option is to concede to the idea that this person that's going to go to Israel in 6 months' time does have reason to learn the language, even though they have no desire or motivation to, or B, the person that's going to Israel has no reason to learn the language at all, right? It's one of the two.
Hey,
I was sorry.
rewind.
Please jump back and please speak.
Rewind. What did you want to discuss? I can't be dragged right now because my phone's dead.
I'm on mute,
So I'm
okay?
playing. Huh?
Can you like mute up, please?
I'm
debate.
sorry, I didn't know there was a debate.
It's okay.
Alright, I'm joining back on PC. One sec.
Okay, so before I get loud like that, I just want to say, I love Shinra. Yuji's cool. The rest of you, I don't really know. Rizhan's okay, I guess. Flames is cool.
El Ego.
How's that ego? What the fuck? How's that an ad hominem? What's an ad hominem? So I don't know what an ad hominem is. Well, like, quite frankly, I'm bored, bro. I'm not gonna lie. You're probably like above most of them, but like, yeah, I just don't. I don't care. Like, I don't really feel motivated. It's like, how have I lost polls to Hero in Skype here? Also, Key, don't let Archie lie to you. This Archie guy did not beat me 12 times, right? Most of the debates I have consensus on. He just likes to rep it because it makes him sound good, I guess. This shit is just troll. Like, holy fucking shit, bro.
This might sound like a ramble, but I'd honestly just like to talk about how many trolls there are in Skype here, and it's actually just sad. For example, when Cee was debating Flames, Cee literally destroyed Flames.
I'm not always on court. Sway suck. Oh my god, let me calm down, bro. I don't know who that guy is, right? But like, just don't talk about me if I don't know you, okay?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Also, Archie, you've been on court for 7 fucking years, bro. Shut the fuck up.
You've been on court since you were 5. Shut up. You were born on here. It was all from sex that happened without protection.
Someone meet that guy. Someone meet that guy.
Okay.
Two random people had sex in a call and didn't use a VPN, and then you were born from the fetus of their HDMI cord, bitch.
Someone meet that guy.
Okay, do you want to quickly just repeat your? Okay, do you want to quickly just repeat like your Israel analogy?
Yeah, one more time, okay, then I'm gonna leave.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Go ahead.
Or do you want me to just send you the excerpt?
The what? The fucking what?
The excerpt. The excerpt.
Sure. Send it in like general.
I'll send it.
Yeah, that's easy. We're gonna get mentality in an informal dialect, bro. You're a troll. Yes, my king or his king has stated his voice. His possessed. Okay, bro. Anyways, also waiting for that. How's everyone's day been so far?
Very good. Honestly, no complaints at all. How about yourself?
It's great to hear. My day's been pretty good. You know, I went on a run earlier because I woke up like about an hour. Like I woke up like 11 a.m. Like an hour later at 12. Went for a run. Then ate breakfast. You know, well not breakfast, lunch. What I meant, but you know.
Okay, hello, mentality.
I'm still here. Yeah.
Yeah, this is taken from Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy, by the way.
The what?
Stanford
Because of the
Encyclopedia.
self-argument has not always gotten a grip on the skeptical about the objective authority of morality. One important development in the 1970s is the observation of similar sort of problem for procedural reason. What the fuck is? If I'm going to, one second, let me just get this specific part out.
Yeah. So, literally, it's just saying, right now, I'm going to go to Israel in 6 months. In 6 months' time, I'm going to regret not knowing any Hebrew once I get there. But right now, I don't give a fuck. Even if I don't care right now, I have no intention, no desire, no motivation to learn the Israel language or the Israeli language. I still have a reason to do so, right? Regardless of what I am like now, which means that you have some reasons independent of your stances now. Does that make sense?
Wait 1 second.
The Kaidish, no one asked the Kaidish.
You okay?
It's just, I'm just so annoyed today. I don't know.
See, first of all, before I get this up, I'm gonna finish it in a second. I'm just reading the whole thing. But what's up? See, you seem a bit angry.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. I think there's a lot of retards running around here.
Huh?
I said I'm just disappointed. Like, don't you think the server's gone to shit recently?
I do agree that it has gone to shit. To be honest,
Like,
I
it's
mean,
just
like
horrible.
think about it. Like, the whole debate community's gone to shit, bro. Like ever since the OCOM's gone, it's been shit. Like
What? I miss Academy.
Academy, what the fuck is that?
Academy was like OG. Not necessarily, it was Tarlin's old server. Um, it was like where I met Shinra, etc., etc.
I never have no reason to say Hebrew now. Even if I don't now care about my future regrets about anything, whether
Or
it's
who's
true or
deleting
not.
reaction? Oh my god.
Internationally, these place constraints on what I have reason to do, based on actual psychological data, based on counterfactuals or truth,
I'm just not gonna lose my temper here. So,
Shut up, bitch.
intuitive judgments
like,
and
are you
reasons.
seeing this shit, Shinra? It's insane, bro. I didn't
Arguments
even,
are
bro. Holy shit.
introduced dialect to leverage because they're
And they
intuitive.
even deleted reactions as well, bro. Because I was winning and then
I hope I'm
it's
not
insane.
interrupting anybody. But I'd just like to say that the amount of goons on this server is just really, really bad. For example,
Shut up,
when
bitch.
C was debating Flames, C destroyed Flames respectively. But then people
Okay,
voted
anyway.
for Flames on polls, and the people that were voting for Flames are those weren't in the easy.
Look, it's okay, Rizwan.
Please.
I don't want anyone that's against you to mic up and start pressing this. We understand. It's for the retards. We need this, you know.
Okay, so this is about internalism and also externalism, which with regards to reasons, right? I just understand having a reason to do something to mean that there's some means and relationship between an aim and an action.
What?
Okay, I'll repeat it again. This is about the analogy you gave, right, is in reference to internalism slash externalism, right, with regards to reasons. I just don't understand, or I just understand, my bad, having a reason to do something to mean that there's something means slash ends relationship between an aim and an action, right? And also, with this, as I said earlier, I'm going to bring it up again because you did not respond to this point, right? We have better reason to believe that morality is subjective. And as I said, I gave an argument for that.
Yeah, I will respond to that afterwards. I don't want to dilly dally between 2 points. But look, I'm not sure what the relevance of bringing up internalism versus externalism is
That
because
whole analogy was
in
that whole
force,
analogy
hold
was
on, wait, just hold on
internalism.
a second. Look, forced externalism, which is the idea that you have stance independent reasons, is moral realism, right? It would be incoherent to say that you're a reason internalist and a moral realist at the same time because those positions are mutually inconclusive or mutually exclusive. So, look, the whole point is that I still haven't gotten a clear cut answer to the analogy because it's a very binary decision you have to make here. Okay, the decision is either A, you can accept the fact that the person specified in the analogy has a reason to learn the Israeli language, even if his current state and his current stance is that he doesn't want to, right? Or B, he has no reason to learn the Israeli language. Or you could say that, the reasons for the reason internalist is indexed to all possible motivations or desires, and I can respond to that as well.
Wait, can you read that last part? I didn't hear it.
Or you could say this is what Hume says. Hume says that, I think it was Hume. He says that the reason internalists could just say that the reasons are indexed to all possible desires, right? All future desires. So they don't necessarily have to be of right now. They can be in the future or possibly possible desires, and you can explain those as well. And I can respond to that as well. But I just want to make a decision first, just so we're clear.
I can barely fucking hear you, I'll be real with you.
Okay, like one last time, okay?
No. It's not a fact that like it's your voice or like I just like can't hear you because of like my phone. I think it's just like the way you're talking or like the how low you are. My bad.
Yeah, sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry.
Yeah, look,
Do you
son.
want to like quickly just type it out like or something like that or just like type it like a
Just
smaller.
forget about the third option because if you have that in mind, you'll bring it up. I don't want to like precog your argument. Just go ahead and respond to the analogy.
Repeat your first second points then because we're going over the third point a second ago. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so it's either the case that the person that's going to go to Israel in 6 months has no reason to learn the language, or that they do have a reason to learn the language.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, right? My understanding of reasons is, as far as I can tell, not susceptible to that objection. Because I'm just saying that me having a reason to study Hebrew just means that it would fulfill some goal I have. There's no more weight to it than that. The goal is to learn
I didn't
Hebrew,
hear you, sister.
independent of my desires. It doesn't have to do with like anything with my psychology in any other way than the
Can you
means
repeat? I
to
didn't hear, sorry.
means and relationship.
Can you repeat? I didn't hear, sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. 1 second. Could you say drinking water? So, if I'm just okay, I'm just saying, my understanding of reasons is, as far as I can tell, not susceptible to that objection. Because I'm just saying that me having a reason to study Hebrew just means that I fulfill some goal I have. There's no more weight to it than that. It doesn't have to do with like my psychology in any other way than means and relationship.
Yeah, so look, okay, that's fine. That's your conceptual analysis of reason, but I'm saying under that view, then the man would have no reason to learn the Hebrew language. Is that something you want to bite the bullet on?
What was it?
So I understand that that's your conceptual analysis of the word reason. Obviously, we disagree. But I'm saying that under your conceptual analysis, it would follow that the man has no reason to learn the Hebrew language, even though in 6 months' time he will regret not learning it.
I don't know what the fuck that means. Like, hold on, okay. So you're saying, right, like, he has, like, no reason to, like, learn the
See,
language, but
no
he can still
glaze.
do it, like,
Your
bro.
mic is like it's like really muffled. Like I can barely understand you.
Okay,
I'm
look,
not,
I'm
yeah,
gonna I'm gonna try this
yeah,
one more
see,
time,
I'm
okay?
really sorry, I'm sorry for interrupting, like, see, I'm really sorry, but,
Look,
like,
I'll just
it is
repeat. If
kind of,
it's
like, hard
okay,
to
then
understand on, like, phone and that
yeah,
shit.
that's fine. I'll just repeat one more time, okay?
Go
So
on.
the analogy is that you have a man. The man will go to Israel in 6 months. In 6 months' time, he will regret not learning the Hebrew language. But right now, his current stance is that he does not want to learn the Hebrew language. He does not care. Okay? So he has no intention. He does not care about his future regrets. He doesn't care. Okay? He does not want to learn it. Under your view, since reasons are indexed to goals that the person has, it would follow that since he does not have the goal of learning the Hebrew language at that point in time, then at that point in time, he has no reason to learn the Hebrew language. But it would seem that he does have a reason to learn the Hebrew language, independent of his stances. So there's two things you can do. You can either A, deny the fact that he has a reason to learn the Hebrew language, which you can do. This isn't supposed to be some sort of rigorous argument to disprove moral objectivism. We're just meant to have some sort of intuitive appeal. So you definitely can just deny that he has no reason. Or you can accept that he does have reason, which is the more intuitive option, which then leads to more realism.
Okay. Well, I've already gone over this, okay? As I said earlier, right? I'll repeat this again for you, right? Because I don't think you're seeming to understand in a sense. Do you want to like have like specific judge? Before we go to like judgment or anything, like do you want to like, like I guess say maybe get a judge? You
No,
think
look,
like
mentality, I don't care who judges, quite frankly. You
okay,
can
yeah, we can
judge
have Archie judge.
anywhere.
That's fine.
But that's fine, I don't care. Look, all I
Okay,
want
that's
to
fine.
do is respond to the very binary question I asked you, right? Before you go on to anything else, just respond to the binary, please.
What did you say?
Can you
Wait, like
respond
what
to
you
the
saying?
binary? I gave you two specific options. Can you just respond to that?
Okay, so listen, see, if it accomplishes no aim, goal, desire to do so, I don't really see like any reason why I like or why I had to but it seems like that's like not really the case anyway because it does fulfill my desires and goals. Like you should understand, right? It's just an issue of epistemic access, and I don't think that's like what I'm saying with this is I don't think that like that's the part you're understanding with this whole point, right?
Look,
Like maybe
mentality.
I don't real no, chill, stop, right? Maybe I don't realize that it fills my aims, but I don't really see how like it's like relevant to the point that we're at right now because I've already talked about this. I've already like gone over this. I've given it to you like really specific. I've given it to you like really simple, and you're just like not understanding the point I'm trying to make with this, right?
Look,
I've explained it to you in every way that I can, and at this point in time, you're not understanding this like basic argument that I'm presenting to you.
mentality. Look,
I've already told you it's in reference to the aim, goals, and desires, right? Even if it's an epistemic issue, right? But you're still not understanding this, and you're still not following up on this.
so wait, just to be clear, because that wasn't a response to the binary. The reason why I wanted to respond to the binary first is because I'm unclear on what you're trying to say here. right? With the
I don't
whole
think there's any reason
epistemic
to
hold
respond
on
to the
mentality.
binary.
Calm down, because when you were talking, I didn't overtalk you. Okay, if you want to go for this like talking stick, talk for talk type of thing, that's fine. But it's like adhere to your side of it. Okay, what I'm saying here, mentality is I wanted to respond primarily, and you already explained the other bits. I just need to respond to this specifically. Does the man have or do not have a reason to go to Israel or not to go to Israel to learn Hebrew? It's a very simple binary.
Okay, I don't see any reason to respond to the binary because
What?
hold on, you're diving too deep into the fucking analogy. I've already responded to this how I feel I should respond to this. If you want to, we can just go to conclusions.
Yeah, no, so look, that's fine. I guess if you don't want to respond to the binary, then we can just like
I
deduct the
don't see any
first
reason to.
argument in favor, which is just the idea that moral and subjectivism undergenerates arguments. That's fine. So you don't want to respond to the binary.
I just don't
Okay,
see any
so
reason
what's
to
your
respond to it.
What'd you say?
It's not in the. Huh?
All you really said, ignore my background actually, wait.
Okay. Also, it's not independent of my stances or made like true independent of my stances. That's the whole point. Just like let you know. Oh, fucking headache. We'll get some paracetamol, bro.
Hey, what's the debate?
We're talking about like morality, if it's objective or subjective.
Uh,
And I'm basically just saying, right? What's it? Right, and he's asking, what if it stands if he doesn't care to learn it under the view, it would, he would follow. He has like no reason to learn the Hebrew language independent of his stance. And
are
I'm
you
just saying,
taking
right?
subjective or objective?
I'm taking subjective, and I just said, if
I
it
agree.
accomplishes no aim, goal, or desire to do so, I wouldn't see any reason to. But it seems like there's like not really that's really the case anyway, because it does not fulfill my desires or goals. It's just an issue of epistemic access. Maybe I don't realize that it fulfills my aims, but I do. I don't really see how it's relevant in a sense. I'm saying it's not independent of my stances or made true independent of my stances, and that's the whole point. It's still only hypothetically binding on some goals slash aims I have. Whether or not I've realised so
Wait,
is
okay,
just a
I'm back.
different
I'm back.
subject.
Like mentality.
So
It's what you're saying is just that maybe I'm misunderstanding here. Why are you just saying even if they don't know that they will have this goal in the future, since they have this goal in the future, that would still be a reason internally or something like that.
look, I'll repeat for you. See. What I'm saying with this whole point, right, is if it accomplishes, I'll repeat it for you. I'll go into a bit like an extra point that I was like just talking about this guy with a second ago, right? If it accomplishes no aim, goal, desire to do so, I don't see any reason why I had to, right? Because it seems like there's not really a case, anyways, because it does not fulfill my desired goals, right? It's just an issue of epistemic access. Maybe I don't realize that it fulfills my aims, but I really don't see how it's relevant. One second, let me just. I'm not finished, don't worry. Right? And I'm saying it's not independent of my stances or made true independent of my stances. That's the whole point, right? It fulfills only hypothetically binding on some goal slash aim I have. Whether or not I realize so is a different subject. Do you want me to
No,
like
no, no,
explain?
no.
Do you want me to explain
That's
that to you?
mischaracterization. Look, the analogy is not that they don't realize that they want to do this thing. The analogy is that they know, right, in 6 months that they regret not learning Hebrew and they don't give a fuck. They don't care at that point in time. So that's different.
See, you're not understanding. One
Look.
second.
If all you're saying, just to be clear, if all you're saying is just that the reasons are indexed to their future desires, then that's fine. We can talk about that, right? Are you saying that in the future they want to do this, even if they don't want to do it now, they want to do it in the future? So it's still a reason that's internal to their or dictated by their future desires. Is that what you're trying to say here? Because I'm just a bit unclear, right?
1 second. No, see, you still not understand. Okay.
Do you want
I've
to write
explained
it
this
out?
I've explained this multiple times, right? And I've told you it's access, right? He doesn't know that he's able to. That he wants to do this, right? But the fact that he will regret it is because he didn't know he wanted to do this, right? In regards to his aims or desires or goals, right? It's as I said a second ago. You should have heard this. It's an issue of epistemic access. This is
Not the
basic.
analogy.
Your
Look.
analogy is about the fact that guy wants to go to Israel, right, to learn Hebrew, and the fact
No,
that he didn't learn about this, right, will mean that he was like regretting the fact that he didn't
that's
learn
not the
it, right?
analogy.
Do you want me to repeat the analogy if you would?
No. Don't please, because you already got it wrong, right? The analogy is
I've
that
got it right. I'll read it
I'm
out for
mad.
you. If I'm
No,
going
no,
to
please,
travel to
please,
Israel in 6
mentality,
months
calm down, please.
time, and I will
Wait,
regret not
wait,
knowing any
wait,
Hebrew once I
wait,
get
hold
there,
on,
then I have a
mentality.
reason to study Hebrew
Hold
now.
on, hold on,
Even if I
hold
don't
on,
know that, hold on,
hold
even
on,
if I
hold
don't
on.
now care about my future regrets or about whether I know Hebrew while I'm in Israel, yet internalists place constraints on what I now have a reason to do on the basis of what my actual psychology is like now, or on the basis of what counterfactuals are fact of me now. So they appear to have a problem in getting those intuitive judgments about reasons right. So yes, I was like completely right. I don't know what you're on
No,
about,
no, no.
right?
What you said to me, and this is why it's a mischaracterization. Holy hell, my background, bro. But like, what you said to me was that the man's gonna go to Israel to learn Hebrew. That's not what was said. All the analogy is that in 6 months' time, he's gonna go to Israel. When he's in Israel, he's going to regret not learning Hebrew. 6 months in the past, so in 6 months he's gonna go there. But right now, as he is right now, he does not care about his future regrets. So he knows that he will regret it. But at that point now, he does not care. So he doesn't want to learn it. Holy hell. He doesn't want to learn it. Wait, give me a second. Give me a second.
I have a fucking headache. I can't find like the fucking medicine. I'm dying.
I left my PC. Are y'all still going?
Yeah, yeah,
We're
yeah.
still
Look,
going, but he just like
I'm
saw
just
you
gonna
as a
try
kid.
explain it
So
one more time. So
Yeah, mentality is
even
just whooping on this
yes,
guy.
even holy shit, bro.
wait, what
Even
was
if he
that,
doesn't
Archie?
have look, even if he doesn't have a reason internally at that point in time, right? As in, he doesn't care about his future regrets, so it's not an epistemic access issue. Because in the own excerpts we read, it says, even if I knew about my future regrets, right? Even if I don't care about them. So he doesn't care about his future regrets at that point in time. He has no motivation to do it. He has no desire to do it. Does he still have a reason to do it? Mentality. It's a yes or no.
1 second.
And please answer in a yes or no, because as we've seen, I can't quite understand when you go on those like explanations that are long winded. I just want you to give me a yes or no, very clear, cut answer. Does he or does he
Okay,
not have a
hold on. For the
reason?
clear cut answer I get, I can't give that because this question, you're only offering me either one or the other. But I've already explained it like multiple times in a
Is it both?
simple and clear and concise way.
Is it both?
And say this right. If you don't understand this, we can just go straight to
No, no,
um
please, please, mentality. Look,
no, no, hold on,
can I just
chill, chill,
wait?
chill.
What question did I ask you?
Okay, you're talking about like the fact that like okay, actually I'll repeat a few examples real quick. He said to you, or he said, right, he's going to regret learning Hebrew when he gets there, but 6 months in the past, he doesn't care about not learning it, right? Even if he doesn't know or care about his future regret, he will eventually regret it when he gets there, right? And what I'm saying with this, right, the claim isn't that reasons are means slash end relations, but between known desires and means of accomplishing them.
Okay, that's not the question I asked you. What's the question I asked?
I literally just said it to you. Are you fucking stupid? Do you want to go ahead
How
and
was
repeat it
the?
for the VC so
Where
you
was
can
the?
show yourself to be fucking retarded?
Wait, why are you? Look, why are
Because
you
no, no, no,
getting
no,
so?
no, no, no. See, you actually piss me off right now, right?
Wait,
You
just
see, that's
calm
like not your
down. Look,
argument when everyone in the VC, every single no, hold
no,
on,
no,
every
I'm
single
not
person in the
asking
VC
for you to repeat
heard
my
that you
argument.
said that word for word. So go
Look,
ahead, see. What was the argument?
I'm not asking for you to repeat my argument. I'm asking for you to repeat the question I just asked you.
That was the
We're
the
No, no,
mentality.
the
question.
He's still
question.
Okay,
asking you
Look,
about whether
mentality.
you believe
No, no, wait, wait.
that
Just
he
calm
does
down. No,
regret
no,
it
I
or
don't
whether
want.
he
Look, wait, I
doesn't.
don't
He
want. Look,
asked
I
you if
don't
you
want
think
any.
that
Wait,
it's whether it's
wait. I don't want
both
any.
or
Wait,
whether you
calm
think it's
down. I don't want
neither
any
because you
interference.
stated you couldn't
Wait,
answer
I
just a
don't
yes or
want any
no.
interference. Just wait. I don't want any interference. Look,
You're welcome, C.
okay.
no, I just don't want. I don't want you to interfere, right? Even if you're helping me, just please, just calm down, okay?
You're welcome.
The question was, even if he does not care about his future regrets, even if he has no desire or motivation to learn Hebrew at that point in time, does he still have a reason to learn Hebrew?
I
We
see.
still have it. 1 second.
And it's a
What the
very
fuck?
binary yes or no. If you're saying it's both or neither, then I just want to see why. Like that would be contradictory, firstly. But
1 second. I'm jumping back to PC now because I'm free to do it now. 1 sec.
okay. Also, what was that like episode of like I don't know intermittent explosive disorder, like or just crazy anger issues just randomly out of nowhere? Please don't spurg on me because I haven't spurred on you throughout the whole debate. Also, is that the real quietist? I thought his name was Stephen B or something. Maybe it's quietist on a note. Hold on, let me see. Oh, that is the real quietist, I think. Okay. How's it British superiority if we're both British? I don't know how that makes sense.
No, I hear you. And he's
Anyone know where mentality is? Quite frankly, I'm supposed to be talking to Gadfly right now, so.
yeah.
Who is that, sir? Okay, finally. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, fine then. I'll fucking do this on like fucking phone. It's pissing me off. But to answer your question, right? Which question was, does he have a reason to learn Hebrew? Yes, right. And I'll give you like a little explanation, just like an analogy. Can you guys hear me first, though? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're perfectly good.
Okay, good. Right. The claim isn't that reasons are means slash ends relations between known desires and means of accomplishing them. It's between just desires. If I knew that I would regret not doing so, then it'd be simple for me to carry out the means. But it's not independent of my desires because I have a desire to not regret things. Right. It'd be like this, right? If I have a cup of water in my hand and it's poisoned, I have a reason not to drink the water, whether or not I'm aware of the poison, conditionalized on my desire to not die. So it fulfills the intuitive judgment that the reason is independent of my epistemic access, but it's still conditionalized on my desires, aims.
Look, so finally we're getting somewhere, right? So you answered the question. That's good.
Can you just go into
Also,
argument, please?
yeah, I'm going to give you the argument, but can you just mute your mic? Because you're echoing a little bit.
Let me actually try and join my PC and.
Please don't. Oh my god. Hello, can you still hear me? Okay, he's
You
not.
are my fire.
Let me meet that guy classical.
Go ahead. Hello? Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, look, so
Yeah.
I know you answered the binary. That's perfectly fine. Now, the issue is whether it's going to be, whether the reason is indexed to his current desires or his future desires. If it's indexed to his current desires, then it's false that he has a reason to learn Hebrew, right? Because, once again, he has no current desire to learn Hebrew. He's fully aware that in the future he will regret this, however. Like, he's fully aware of this. However, he doesn't care at that point in time. It's similar to how people smoke, right? Knowing that they'll get cancer, knowing that they'll regret getting cancer, but they don't give a fuck, right? It's the same thing. Under your view, these people that know about their future regrets and don't care about them at that point in time, since the reason is indexed to their current desires, they would have no reason. So is it indexed to his current desires, in which case he'd have no reason to learn Hebrew, or is it indexed to his future desires? Which one?
Alright, back to this question about the current or the future desires. 1 second. Okay. Presumably, he has a general desire to do things he'll regret not doing. Whether or not he's aware of them, I'm gonna get on to the point, right? Don't worry. Whether or not he's aware of them, that means there's a means and relation between learning Hebrew and fulfilling that desire is separate from whether there is such relation. But the relation is still completely dependent on my aim slash goals. No way it is a moral realism, right? Or no way is it moral realism. Now, the question is it indexed to his current desires or his future desires, right? If not doing X frustrates desire Y of agent P, then there's a means end relation between doing X and Y. If there's a mean end relation between doing X and Y, then P has reason to do X.
So, like, you do see the issue. Wait, so just to be clear for the yes or no answer, not yes or no, but binary answer, is it indexed to his current or future desires?
Well, I think I've already answered that, see.
No, I wasn't very clear. 'Cause, like, when you go on those long-winded explanations, the words you use
Okay,
are
I'll
too big
just
for me to understand.
okay. I'll quickly just answer it, right?
No, please just
Uh,
use the binary yes or no. Yes or no. Is it indexed to his current or future desires?
okay, I'll repeat it for you then, right? If we're not doing X, frustrates desire Y of agent P, then there's a means end relation between doing X and Y.
No,
If there's a
please.
means, no,
I'm
bro,
already
do
lost.
not, do not, do not, do
No,
not.
I've already lost
I'm
track.
being
I've already
cordial to
lost
you.
track.
I'm being cordial to you.
Wait,
I'm being cordial.
mentality. Wait.
I'm
I've
gonna
already
go
lost
over
track.
it, bro. Shut the fuck up. I'm
I've
gonna go
already
over
lost
it, bro.
track. But look,
I've already
I've
said
already
to
lost
you.
track. Wait,
Okay.
mentality.
I was cordial to you,
I'm not okay.
right?
Look, you know what?
I was
Someone's
cordial to
pinged me
you.
in
I'm gonna
chat.
answer the question. I'm gonna answer the
Look,
question. What do you want about?
answer it first. Answer it
That's what
first.
I was gonna do.
Okay, so answer it. It was a banger.
Okay, so I'm gonna finish with what I was saying. If there's a mean and relation between doing X and Y, then P has relation to X. You don't have to be super particular desire about the current scenario. Here's an example. Not doing X, aka avoiding the poison water, frustrates desire Y. I desire not to die of agent P. I mean, it could be either, it can be even be like, I desire not to drink the poisoned water. Presumably, almost every person has that desire. Like what?
Okay, so can you guys notice how the very simple
I've
ban
already
there are
said. I've
is
already
it
said like we don't
index?
have like be super particular or
Look,
like or
look,
just like
look,
or like
look, look. So
desire
look,
about
in
the
the analogy I
anyways.
presented, is it indexed to his current desire or his future desire? I'm gonna ask this one last time.
Okay, I've already answered this, right? If not doing X frustrates desire P or desire Y of agent P, then there's a means and relation between doing X and Y. If there is a means and relation between doing X and Y, then P has a reason to do X. So, you don't have to be super particular, desire about the current scenario. I gave an example, not doing X, aka avoiding the poison water, frustrates desire Y. I desire not to die of agent P. I mean, it could be, as I said, it could be even, I desire not to drink the poisoned water. Presumably almost every person has a desire not to die.
Yeah, so let's just say this, right? Let's use your own poison water example, because seemingly you're not getting it. Okay, let's say the
I've
man
already
wants
got
to
it,
drink
but
the.
you
Let's
don't get
say,
it.
look, let's say that the man wants to drink the drug, right? He wants to take a drug. He knows that this drug is poison. Let's say fentanyl, right? You know, fentanyl is extremely poisonous, right? So he knows that fentanyl is poisonous, and he knows that he will enter a world of pain once he takes the fentanyl. But he doesn't care about that right now. Right now, right? His desire, his motivation, all of that is about taking the fentanyl. And even though he knows in the future he'll regret it, he doesn't give a fuck. Okay. Under your view, okay, you told me that he still has a reason to not take the fentanyl. However, I'm asking you, is this reason indexed to what he is like now? Because if it is,
What'd you say?
and he
What'd you say?
does.
What'd you say?
Okay, so
There's a
one
reason
more
to not do
time.
what? There's a reason
So
to do what?
is the reason indexed to his current desires? If so, then he doesn't
No,
have a
no,
reason.
can you repeat the analogy for me?
Okay, fentanyl, extremely poisonous.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
man
no,
wants
no.
to take fentanyl, okay? He wants to take
Yeah.
fentanyl. He's aware that once he takes this fentanyl, after he's done, he's going to be in a world of pain. He does not want to experience this, right? As in, he's going to regret taking the fentanyl once he's taken it. But right now, he doesn't give a fuck about the future regrets. His desires, his motivations, all of his internal states are pointing him towards taking the fentanyl. Now, we already agreed, right, that under an analogy like this, similarly to the prudential reasons analogy, he would have a reason not to take the fentanyl. However, is this reason because of what he is like right now, as in his current desires, or is it because of a future desire, such as him regretting it in the future? What is the reason that he has
To take the fentanyl?
to not take the fentanyl?
Alright, sorry, I'm just taking notes on this.
Look, the Stanford Encyclopedia article, I can send it to you if you want. You can read through it, read through the section. It's like maybe 3, 4 paragraphs, and then you can come
Which one's
back.
the section?
What do you say?
Send it to me send it to me which one the section is.
Yeah, just go to under. I'll send it to you. Hold on.
I bet. Good shit. I'm generally curious about this whole thing. Um,
You just click on that, right? Read it, maybe like I don't know, read up until it says the end of under-generation arguments, and then when you come back, you can then talk about it. Because I don't think you know
I'll probably
what
respond to the
I'm
analogy by
asking.
then because I've already wrote down the analogy, so you'll be fine. Alright, I'm reading it now. One sec. There you go. Okay, that's just so boring. All right. Um, okay. Well, back to your question, right? You're saying is it the future desires of or current desires to not take the drug? Well, okay, I'm going to just say, right, there can be tanto reasons, right? Simply, pro tanto reasons are just reasons that count in favor or count against doing some action, but aren't necessarily indicative of action, Grudian norm. For example, say I have a commitment to take my friend to the airport, right? But there's a great football game airing around the same time. I'm going to take a drink of water. Don't worry, I'm not going to leave. Don't respond to the point just yet. Okay.
We're waiting.
Shit. Right. Actually, we'll get onto the protantive thing later, but I'll explain to you later, right, with like the analogy. But simply, just for like you to understand reasons for and against doing something. I can have reasons to X and reasons to not X, right? It's not a contradiction if they're just being understood as protantive. Presumably, if he will regret doing it, then really he has an all things considered reason to not X, aka taking the drug, summing up all the desires. But back to the pro tanto thing, right? Pro tanto reasons are just reasons that count in favor of or count against doing some action just for recording, but aren't necessarily indicative of the action guiding norm. For example, say I have a commitment to take my friend to the airport, and there's a great football game airing at the same time, right? I have pro tanto reasons to take my friend to the airport, which is keeping the promises, not fucking over my friend, not being a bad friend, right? And pro tanto reasons to not take my friend to the airport, watching the game, saving money on gas, that's a separate question from what I have, all things considered, most reason to do, right? So simply, right, suppose my desires that taking my friend to the airport fulfills, or the airport fulfills outweigh the desires to not, to go to, to go to the football pitch, right? Then simply, it'd be the better choice that we would go to the airport because I don't want to be a bad friend. I want to keep my promises, and I don't want to fuck over my friend, as I said earlier, right? But that's simply my response.
So
And
is the
Josh,
idea just that you'll take into consideration all the relevant facts in both the future and the present, and saying based on these facts, you would either have or not have a reason?
presumably, if you regret doing it, then really he has all things considered not to take the drug. Like
Right.
it's like summing up, all the desires, every desire. You know what I'm saying?
So every desire that he could have.
Every desire that he has, in this reason, in that time that he takes the fentanyl or does not take the fentanyl.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, if we're talking about the desires that he has at that point in time, then he doesn't have a reason to take the fentanyl. But if we're talking about every single desire, I suppose that you could accommodate this idea that he could have a reason to not take the fentanyl, even if he doesn't have any desire to not take the fentanyl at that point in time. But it just follows that those sorts of things are massively overdetermined.
What you say the desires are to be determined?
No, overdetermined.
Are determined.
Overdetermined. So overdetermination just refers to when you have two or more sufficient causes for an event. And we like to say that in normal events or normal cases, this doesn't really happen, right? And so reasons like that, where you take into account all of the possible desires that someone could have, and say that based on these desires, you'd have reasons or no reasons. They're overdetermined, right? Because you have this one
So what's your
reason.
point?
Uh, we just should exclude those types of stuff from our theory. Like
Wait,
obviously,
can you wait?
unless you disagree with like the principle of causal exclusion, in which case you don't really have to worry about the whole overdetermination issue. You could bite the bullet on that, but um, I guess I'll just be my response to something like that.
What that we shouldn't discount what?
So look, if we're taking into account all of the possible desires that he could have, then you'd have one reason that's seemingly caused by multiple different possible desires, and all of these possible desires are sufficient in explaining this one reason, right? In which case, all of these reasons that he has are massively overdetermined. You have more than one sufficient cause for these reasons, and in which case, you should hope to exclude stuff like that from our hypotheses. But you could bite the bullet on that as well if you don't agree with the principle of cause exclusion, and we can just move on.
All right. Wait, I'm just reading this thing. Should we not care about more? What the fuck is this?
Are you
Alright,
reading the undergeneration
Go
thing?
ahead. What was that?
Are you reading the undergeneration thing?
The undergeneration thing?
Yeah, like what are you reading?
Oh no, I was literally just reading like what you've said so far.
Oh, yeah, overdetermination is just two or more sufficient causes for one event. And if you agree with the principle of causal exclusion, then we should hope to eliminate these sorts of events, right? Like if we have some other explanation that doesn't have overdetermination, we should hope to take that explanation over some hypothesis that does have overdetermination.
All right. Would you be fine, in like the next few arguments, we just like end recording and like stop it there because we don't really have a judge right now,
Yeah, that's
and
fine. That's fine.
yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I was just making sure, right? But simply, not sure what you mean by possible desire, but I'm not like talking about any desire that is possible for an agent to have, right? And what I mean by when I say, you know, in a sense, desire that is possible for the agent to have. What I mean by this, right, is one second. One second. Fuck, 1 second. I'm gonna get some paracetamol. My head's breaking. You can like talk to VC for a second.
Yeah, so it's probably gonna be like my last days in Skype here. There's just a lot of people that don't really like me here, and I don't really enjoy debating here often anymore. You have people like Yes Kingism. Wallahi, I've never seen this guy before today. For some reason, he just like has this agenda to vote against me on polls. Prince Goated, Hero to Nerd, hell, even classical sometimes sucks my dick. I don't know why. It's just kind of upsetting. So, shower is shower
Bro,
Shinra.
I don't fucking know you. Get my dick out your
Anyways,
fucking
I like
mouth,
Shinra. I
faggot
love
ass
Shinra a
bitch.
lot.
Like real
Um,
shit. Like anytime I'm in a VC,
I
do I
love
ever
Shinra a
talk about
lot.
C?
You
Like
feel me?
anytime I'm in a VC with
I love
somebody, have I ever
Shinra
been like, oh
and I
yeah,
love
fuck that
Otan.
ESC? I don't
First
know
pretty
you.
cool.
I don't
Race
care
pretty
about
cool,
you,
I
C.
guess.
I don't
So,
care.
that's pretty much
Anytime
it.
like I even put your name in my mouth, I'm defending you
And
from
I don't
somebody.
know, I
And
guess.
it,
I don't
like
think I've ever
you're
seen that
fucking
happened to me
retarded.
before.
Like genuinely. Like
So,
anytime I'm in a
yeah, that's what I
VC,
mean when I talk
I'm
about the whole.
defending you. That's the only time I have your name in my mouth. And you want to sit in here and dick suck me? I don't know you like that. I don't fucking care about you. I'm a grown ass man in the fucking military. You think I give a fuck about you, C? I don't. I don't give a fuck. You think I go in a BC every day talking about, oh man, fuck that C, fuck that debater. I don't care about you. I genuinely don't. I don't. Stop
Okay,
about me. I don't care
okay,
about you.
W
alright,
ego.
You're a loser.
okay. So aside from that, yeah,
Okay.
Pascal does in
W
fact dick suck me
egoism.
sometimes. I saw just
Uh,
pointing out the obvious. He does dick suck me. I'm not saying that he does it constantly or like he does it and he cares about me and he's like a dick sucker. But he does dicking, right? I think everyone in this species has dicking me at least once. So that's fine. Like we all dick each other. That's cool. Let's all just dick each other and be in peace. You feel me? I don't think there's an issue with us
Everyone is
dicking.
like send me dicky. Yo, anybody in here that's BC with me all the time in here, when have I ever talked down upon C? Any time have I ever been like, C? Yeah, he's ass. Yo, he sucks. I fucking hate C. Like, no, never have I done that. You think I like join BC and I talk down on people? No. Anytime somebody's like beefing, you know what I do? Not say shit. I'm in the background. I'm the background character. You think
yo,
I care? I am
chill.
19 years old. I deployed. You think I care about like Discord debaters? I don't.
5 milliliters.
I don't care about you.
C
5 milliliters.
sounds annoying as fuck. C always crying. But yeah, aside from
Oh
that.
my god. Yeah, it was a joke going on. Yeah,
Look,
it
okay,
happens.
it's okay. Look, it's
W
okay. Look,
jokes. Oh my god,
classical.
it's
I
not geeky.
understand. Look,
There's a
classical. I
difference.
understand.
Oh
I
my
understand.
god.
I'm not saying. I'm not
You
trying
think
to say
people
that.
care? Like you really care
I'm
about that?
say, look, classical. I'm not
Like
trying to say.
Yo,
you
we
really
just
care
yo
about
everyone,
like
we
a
just
Classical.
start
second
Can
joke
something.
someone
that
mute that
happened?
guy?
Nobody cares.
Someone
It's
mute
not
that
that
guy.
big of a deal.
Can someone mute that guy? Look, I'm
Hey
not
guys,
trying to say.
I'm pretty sure
Holy shit.
more than
Look,
finish.
classical. I'm not trying to say that you're a fan or anything. I'm just saying you dick eats me, and it was a joke mainly. I don't know why you're so offended. Like, just calm
Oh
down,
my
okay?
god. Like, hey, just get my name out your mouth. I don't care about you.
Like,
It's
just calm
every
down,
time.
okay?
Anytime she wants to talk about dick eating,
Professor
Just
I'm
calm
in the
down,
already, is
same
okay?
everyone
people.
chill?
Calm
I'm
down.
in the same
Yo,
bracket every time.
yo, bro,
I
chill,
don't
Calm
care.
down, okay?
Yo, chill, bro, chill. Let me just, let's just finish. Take it after, okay? Is that fine? Thank you. Alright, I'm back. I just took my paracetamol. We're going to the argument now. Just give me a second. Alright. So, simply, not sure. Okay, I'll just quickly go over what I said. Before, right? Yeah. Not sure what is meant when you say by when you say possible desire. I'm not talking about any desire that is possible for an agent to have. Simply, but yeah, simply what I just mean.
Yeah, so when I say possible desire, I'm just saying that when you say stuff such as if this, then this, that's just referring to possibilities. Like if he takes the fentanyl, then he'll regret it. So based off this counterfactual, we should aim or he has a reason not to take the fentanyl. Or if he goes to Israel, then he'll regret learning Hebrew or regret not learning Hebrew, therefore he has a reason to learn Hebrew. When we admit these sort of counterfactuals that express possibilities, and you're saying that you admit these into your scope of reasons, then those reasons become massively overdetermined because you have all of these desires that are possible for them to have counterfactually. And these multiple desires can both sufficiently explain or all sufficiently explain one reason.
Yeah, but it's okay. Hold on, but like, well, okay. So we said for example, if this then this, right? That's just a conditional statement.
Yeah, it's a subjunctive as well.
So, what's your point?
So subjunctive statements express possibility.
So, how the fuck do you spell that? Subjunctive.
We'll just use bleed and like see if it can give us an image.
Huh?
Um,
Okay. But like, what you can you just tell me like what you? Okay. Let me just say something, right? I'm not overdetermining the case because there would be one cause that actually caused the event.
the issue of overdetermination is you have multiple possible desires that can all sufficiently cause one reason or explain one reason.
Be that one second. I think. Okay, hold on. Really quickly for like. Okay, see, can you like overdose some like paracetamol? Just a genuine question.
Pardon?
Can you like overdose some paracetamol?
Oh, I thought you were telling me to overdose paracetamol.
No,
No,
no, I'm just asking. I'm just standing asking you.
but you can if you take too much.
Okay. I was just asking. Um. Anyways. Okay. Okay. If these other reasons are causing the event, or is there one reason?
There are multiple desires that cause one reason.
There are multiple desires that cause one reason. Are you saying that we take into account all of these?
Under your view, yeah.
Well, what's your view?
My view is that you just have a stance of independent reason.
Interesting.
Also, when you're going to remove the recording board, did you forget about that?
Wait, what'd you say?
I said, when you're going to remove the recording board, did you forget about that?
Oh no, we'll just all right. No, we'll just like okay, we'll just do it in like a second. We'll just continue for like about a few minutes, then we'll move it. So I was busy taking
Yeah,
my paracetamol and that shit.
I think we should just move on to your argument for subjective morality because I don't think you quite understand what I'm getting at here.
Okay, so do you think like we should just like drop this point and then just move on to like, my argument?
Yeah, if you want to.
Okay. So you can just drop your argument then. We'll move into my argument before we just move on. I just want to say that like, there is one reason the accumulation of all desires, but ultimately it's one main reason that causes it, not several. But let's just move on to my argument then. Do you know what the argument from Aquinas is for error theory?
The argument for error theory.
No, the argument from Aquinas from error theory.
What it states is that moral properties are going to be these queer things that are unlike anything in the universe, something like that.
Yeah. So one second. I'm gonna give you like the like the basic thing, right? Objective values have to be something unlike anything else in this world. Oh, I'm gonna just repeat that, my bad. Objective values would have to be something unlike anything else in this world. If we were aware of objective values, it would have to be through some special faculty, such as moral perception or intuition. But why should we think we have any such faculty that puts us in touch with objective values, right? Because even if objective values existed, we'd have no way of being aware of them, We might as well conclude they don't exist. Simply.
Also, Kingdom Rewind sucks, but aside from that, look, I just say that I'm a moral actualist, right? And I can say that we gain knowledge of moral propositions from natural propositions. So the moral facts supervene on the natural ones somehow. I don't need to describe to you how this works mechanistically. I could just say that it does somehow. I
Yeah,
don't really
see, he's
think.
getting fucking slammed. You're
See,
terrible.
he's getting fucking slammed. Mom's life.
You're autistic. It's
Wait,
okay.
Come on, get this nigga out of here, bro.
Good bitch. Good bitch.
Huh?
Rewind, you too
Rewind?
British, bro.
Good bitch.
You said what?
okay.
Are you saying
There's
good
too
for
much
debate?
British niggas in this.
We need action
Yeah.
in the BC. Need him to bitch his son again.
Well, who is
The
a bro?
fuck? Well, my shit is tweaking.
Someone shut that shit up. Also, what's up, Mason?
Yo.
Okay. 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 Do you see my bad? Do you want to like just like repeat a point? Because yeah, I just
Yeah, so
I just completely blanked out. My bad.
basically, I don't think that Mackie's argument from queerness is even an argument. I can just hold once again. I'm a moral naturalist. I believe that the moral facts supervene on the natural ones, and I'd have to describe to you mechanistically how we gain knowledge of moral facts. That's not an argument against position, right? Just because we don't know how this happens does not mean that the position is false or less likely.
Okay. Before I just attack this point, what do you think? What do you think naturalism is? Like, what do you define as naturalism?
The idea that moral facts can supervene on or are reducible to natural ones.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's not attacking queerness, right? Queerness is an attack on naturalism. So there's a you're trying to use naturalism to attack
No, I'm not attacking
or
queerness.
no, yeah, hold on. You're trying to use like naturalism to in a sense attack like error theory, but it's really the other way around, right?
Yeah.
We're trying to like queerness. The queerness's whole point is to attack on naturalism, right? But what you're trying to do here is trying to attack the point of subjective values by using an offense point, which makes no sense.
Look, the argument was just this. I think the argument for queerness that you just cited is this idea that if these moral properties did exist, we'd have, or they'd be unlike anything in the universe. They'd be unusual. You don't know how we gain knowledge
Yeah,
of
they'd
them,
have to
stuff
be.
like that. Yeah. So once again, I could just say that them being unusual, them being strange, isn't an argument. Number one. Number two, I'd have to describe to you mechanistically how we attain moral knowledge or knowledge of moral propositions. All I have to say is that we do, right? We do gain this knowledge, and the mechanism is irrelevant. That doesn't make my position less likely. Just because you can't explain to me how something happens step by step does not necessarily mean that your position is wrong. So I'm just
Okay,
confused where the argument's supposed to be.
okay. Okay. Well, the motivation must come from the fact, from the fact then, right? How do you get past the is ought gap?
The is ought gap.
Yeah.
The idea that you can't get an ought from what is.
One sec.
I don't, is that supposed to be an argument as well?
Well, it's already like an argument, it's a question, right? I'm asking you, right? There you go. I'm asking you. Okay, I was just pouring some water into a glass, so I don't have to quickly just undo my bottle, do it up again. But how would you get past the is-ought gap, right? Just because this is the case, why should it be the case? Just because just because you have natural properties, why do we ought follow a moral rule? My bad.
Yeah, I just think that we seem to recognize moral properties based on the natural ones. And I already told you I don't have to tell you mechanistically how this happens. So the is ought gap thing, I don't understand what the question is supposed to be. If it's how do we go from an is to an ought, then I don't know. I just think that we do this thing.
Okay, but you saying we seen is a cop out. You understand that, right?
No, it's just the idea that I don't know how it happens, but me not knowing how it happens isn't making my position less likely.
Wait, repeat that. The fuck? What the fuck?
So look, me not knowing how something happens does not make my position less likely, right? That's all it is.
It would because you need to prove your argument. That's like the whole thing. Like you can't like you can't like assert a position to be correct, right, but not have a way to defend it.
Wait, is it possible?
That's like me trying to say, for example, Aaron Yeager beats narrative, but not having a reason to believe that, right?
Look,
We think of moral
look.
actions. Hold on, we think of moral actions that aren't reducible to typically natural properties, pleasure, displeasure, etc.
So look, all I'm asking is it possible that we can go from this to a naught?
Huh?
Is it logically possible that we can go from
Well,
this to
no,
a naught?
okay, hold on. But I just want to reaffirm to the fact, right? You can't just cop out before you like ask the question.
I'm not copping
I'm
out. I'm
saying,
not copping
hold on,
out. Look,
hold on. Before you do that, right? You just can't cop out at this point. We
yeah,
should stay on this point before you ask the question, right? Because this
yeah.
whole point is like really like
Yeah,
valuable,
I
right?
don't want to
So what
take
I'm trying
that.
to say with this, right,
Uh-huh.
is we can think of moral facts that aren't reducible to any natural properties, pleasure, displeasure, right? I want you to like I want you to respond to this. I don't want you to ask any questions. Respond to this point.
That moral properties are reducible to pleasure and displeasure.
I'm saying we can think of moral actions that aren't reducible to typically natural properties. An example of these is pleasure, displeasure, etc.
No, that's not what I mean, right? Like when I say like moral facts are reducible to natural ones or explained by natural ones, I just mean that there could be something about the nature of an action that is immoral, right? Like there's something about the nature of a thing that's immoral. For example, I think Derek Parfit notes that it's more so that there's something about the nature of suffering or pain that is immoral, right? And so that would be the type of argument I'm going for here, not some sort of it's based on emotions. That would be stance dependent.
Wait, hold on. Just to let you know, right? That's kind of stupid, right? Do you want me to like explain to you like why it's like really stupid? Because your whole point, right?
What?
Like, okay, hold on. Okay, really quickly, right? What? Okay, okay. Let's say I smack someone, right? Are
Yeah.
you trying to say like? Are you trying to say that the smacking someone is like seen as bad, so we should like know it to be bad? And also, emotion can be the
What?
cause of the event too.
What I said was
What's your point, C? What's your point?
yeah.
Like reaffirm it to me real quickly.
Yeah, so look, I'm saying the complete opposite of what I'm saying. This is something you got from Archie, right? When we say
It's
that
not
moral
something I got from
facts are
Archie.
reducible, no, this is exactly what Archie said to me in his debate as well, right? When you say
It'd be
that
an
moral
objective
facts,
fact, not a
when you say
subjective
that
fact.
moral facts, look, just calm down. When you say moral facts are reducible to natural ones, you're not saying they have this moral proposition and it's reducible to or explained by your emotions, right? That's stance dependent. That's completely contrary to what a moralist argues. All we mean to say is that we have these moral propositions and they're explained by natural facts or supervene on natural facts. And the example I gave was from Derek Parfit, who says there is something about the nature of suffering that makes us or gives us a reason to not do it. And I can give you that citation if you want, right? So it's more so regarding the nature of things in the natural world that give us a reason to not do something, right? Is that stupid still, or
Okay. Well, then what's the symmetry breaker for that and subjectivism? Emotion could be a cause of the event.
yeah, I agree. Like subjectivism is possible, right? But you said you were going to give an argument for why your hypothesis was more likely than my own.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just remember, right? One second.
I'm remembering.
Oh, fuck, that was not nice. Alright. Okay, remember, right? You're trying to cop out a second ago, right? And you were saying, right, why like or remember you say why do we follow moral rule, right? Right, and then you try to cop out. What I'm saying with this, right, this whole point here, right, is your point seems more likely than my point. We're trying to prove what you're trying to prove, right, is why your point is more, in a sense, more probable than my point, right? With this whole argument, right, I think my point is like still fine all that shit, right? But what I'm trying, yeah, what's that? Yeah, but what I'm trying to fucking argue with this point, right, is that we should assert that my thing is as probable as your thing, unless you try and cop out, which you try to cop out, which is why we should talk about this point more. And what I'm trying to
Okay.
say with this, right, is you're trying to prove why this argument, right, would be more probable than my argument. I don't have to prove why my argument is more probable because you tried to cop out just a second ago. So what makes your point or your assertion or argument more probable than what I'm trying to assert right now?
So look, I didn't try to cop out. All I said was that even if I failed to explain to you mechanistically how this process occurs, that doesn't necessarily mean that my position is less likely. That's not a cop out, right? I just genuinely don't know. I don't like to speak on things I don't know. Um, Also, the whole probability thing is just that you were the person gave the argument for as to why subjectivism was the case. So when you gave the queerness argument, I just explained why that doesn't actually raise the probability of your own hypotheses. And if the question here that you're now asking me was, I believe you're asking me now, why is my position more likely than your own? I guess I could just give some sort of, I don't know, random argument.
Okay.
The nature of moral discourse seems to entail that we're talking about real things, talking about
See,
fiction. Hello?
what would make a claim like killing is wrong be true?
Or would make a claim like killing is wrong due to the nature of killing?
Wait, what? You just lagged out?
I said the nature of murder.
The nature of murder? Okay. I want you to explain to me why the nature of murder is like wrong in a sense, right? Because I asked you, the claim itself, killing is wrong. How is this true, right? Of course, but would that be like mind independent thing? Would it be like mind independent? Would it be dependent? Like what is it?
Look, the claim killing is wrong. Would that be mind dependent? Yes.
Okay, why?
Uh, That's my position.
It what the okay? It's something intrinsic to the thing.
Yeah, it's intrinsic to killing. I'm confused. Wait, do you want an argument for as to why we should believe that murder is wrong mind independently?
Okay, right. You see, okay, you said it's mind independent, right? I'm saying it's something intrinsic to the thing. So then we don't see it as a moral fact, right? So what I'm saying with this whole point, right, is the argument for Aquinas, right? We have no reason, right, to believe that moral facts, right, are true, and we know that and we know that moral facts could not be true because it has to be something unlike anything else in this world, right? And if it has to be anything, anything unlike, okay, if it has to be something, anything unlike else in this world, right? We have to have some way to perceive it, right? Unless you're saying that like morality, right, is something that is so easy to perceive and something so easy to understand. If you want to like assert that position, right, then could you prove it? How you can substantiate this point? What proof are you gonna show? You gonna show like any form of empirical evidence?
Yeah, so like the issue is, and I'm gonna be honest here, is that even if okay, first and foremost, I guess I'll just say this. I
It's no
cannot
different from Goku being a Saiyan. Like what?
sorry, I apologize. Look, I can't point to the moral property in the natural world. Like I can't point this out to you specifically the same way I'd be able to point out.
Oh, how convenient.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. The same way I can't necessarily point out to you, or the same way I can't. Oh wait, no. What was I gonna say? Holy shit! I was trying to like catch this conversation out of my mouth.
How
Anyway, what I was gonna
convenient.
say was
You just know what to say.
I
That's
can't point out
insane.
moral property to you the same way I can point out, say, a piece of an object or a component of an object. But just because I can't point it out to you doesn't mean that it's not there, right? And like I already given the
Wait,
argument.
hold on. Then there's more likely not. Hold on.
I've
Hold
said,
on. Then
look,
it's more
hold on a
likely
second.
not
I said
naturalism.
that.
Then what the
Wait, hold
hell?
on. I
Also,
said the
you
same way I felt.
you're saying that we can't point out a property of a rock, but we know that researchers have like looked at like different objects, even
That's
like
not what I
rocks
said. That's
themselves,
not what I said.
so can point out molecules of a
That's not what
rock.
I said. That's not what I said.
It's literally like their
No,
makeup.
that's not what I said. You're misrepresenting my argument. I said
That
just
is
because I
exactly the
can't.
argument.
Look, I said just because I can't point
All
it
the
out to
components.
you.
Are you telling me the components?
Oh my god! Look, I don't want to talk over you, okay? Because your mic is really loud and people can't hear me. Look, just calm
I'm
down.
not. Hold on.
Okay?
I'm on phone.
Yeah. But people are still hearing you over me because your mic's really
That's
loud.
fine. That's fine. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, like, what I'm saying is here. Just because I can't point out the specific properties, just because I can't give into your hands the killing is wrong property or the wrongness property in killing doesn't necessarily mean that it doesn't exist or that it's not there, right? That it's not attainable or acquired through some sort of natural fact knowledge. So if you want an argument for as to why we should believe in more realism, I could just say like the nature of moral discourse, right? Like typically, if we're talking about subjective fictions, moral discourse is irrelevant.
Cut. Hold on. This is funny. This is funny, right? Okay. Hold on. You're saying just because like we don't have like any actual like 100% evidence, right? That like proves that like moral facts don't like actually exist, and we like know they exist, right? That's the whole argument for queerness, right?
No, wait,
So
hold on.
hold on. Because even if objective moral values existed, we'd have no way of being aware of them. That's the whole point. We might as well conclude they don't exist, right? And so this
Why
leads to
don't we
hold on.
being
So this
aware of
leads to the question, right? Hold on. This leads to the question,
why do you have
right?
no way of being aware of
Why
them?
is it more likely for moral
Why do you have no
facts
way
to
of
exist then? Because you know,
why do you have
especially
no way of
if
being
it's
aware of
even
them?
true due to the
Why
event
do you have no way of
itself.
being aware of them? Look, the claim was that we have no way of being aware of them. I'm just interested in seeing an argument for this.
I've already given the argument.
The
Also,
argument
it's more
awareness
likely
doesn't
because
look, I
mine's more
could
likely.
yeah, but the
That
issue
wouldn't
is that
improve
I
any
can
statistics
theoretically
in
hold
any
on wait,
way.
I can theoretically grant all of the premises from the argument of queerness, such as look, these moral properties are unlike anything in the universe, they're unusual, they're strange, right? Why does that mean that we can't gain knowledge of them? I don't understand.
Hold on, C, right? You've already conceded, right? I've already given one. You even said I can't point to it.
Yeah, can you point towards wait, so other
My bad,
objects
my bad,
exist
my bad. Go ahead, go ahead.
exist?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so look, the issue is just that just because I can't point it out physically to you, right, and like grab it and show it to you does not mean that it doesn't exist, right? Or that it doesn't come from
That's not my
natural facts.
argument, C. See, that's
So
not my
wait, why
argument.
can't I gain knowledge
You're
of it?
straw manning me. You're basically straw
So
my
why
argument,
can't I
right?
gain knowledge of it?
Okay. Remember, my whole okay. See. What is the argument for queerness? Go ahead. Always give the full argument because you're not
Look,
understanding it,
I'm not
right?
interested in this, right? Do you want to conclude?
No. Okay. No, I'll just quickly like give my argument and then just like then I'll like explain to you what the argument for queerness is. Then we can like exactly clear out that, right? So simply, yeah. So as you said, we can't be aware of it. So any moral fact we say isn't one, right? And if you remember, let's go back to the argument for queerness that I gave, right? And I was gonna like go over all of it, right? But you didn't allow me to because you want to get onto the exact point, right? But objective values have to be something unlike anything else in this world. If we were aware of objective values, it would have to be through some special faculty like moral perception or intuition, right? But again, why should we think we have any such faculty that puts us in touch with objective values? You never add this point. Because even if objective values existed, we'd have no way of being aware of them. We might as well conclude they don't exist. That was my whole point, right? I'm saying, right, we have no way of knowing about them, right, which is questioning our epistemology about them, right, which is the study of knowledge. We might as well conclude that they don't exist in any way. And you haven't shown any evidence that points towards this, right? So as I said, again, we might as well conclude they don't exist. We can like conclude to Griff one.
Yeah, mentality is clearly winning.
So you saw Griffin chat say that you're winning, and then said, "Let's conclude to Griff. Let's just
Who do you
calm
want to?
down."
Who do you want to have? Okay, who's your conclude to then?
Mentality. What? No. What you told me. Look, I'm just unclear because I asked you for an argument for subjective morality, and then you presented the argument from queerness, and you're telling me now, right, that I need to embrace the probability of my own position. I don't need to do that, right? You need to embrace the probability of your own position, and you haven't done so. The argument from queerness doesn't do this unless you want to prove to me that we cannot gain knowledge of moral properties or moral facts, right? That's the claim that you've made. I want to see evidence for. Just because there's
C, hold
praise
on.
on like
C, stop switching the burden
doesn't
of proof.
necessarily
C,
mean. Wait, hold on a second. Hold
C.
on a second.
No, no,
Mentality
no,
is
no,
clear.
no.
Are you
C,
going to
C. I'm
raise
not
your
gonna let
own
you.
probability, or should
I'm
I
not
raise
gonna
my
let you
own
try and
probability?
convince the VC that that's my
Are
point.
you going to
C,
raise the probability of your own position, or should
C,
I?
C, C. Stop.
Are you
This
going to
knowledge
raise
would
the
only
probability of
be
my position,
okay.
or no?
C, C,
Just answer the question. Will you
C.
raise the probability of your own position?
See. Let me just finish
Okay,
my
I'll
point,
do it for
right?
you, right? So
You're
the
switching
reasons
the
why
burden
more
of
realism is
proof,
correct
right? And now
is
you want to do
because
this, right? So exactly
look,
what I'm
don't
saying,
shout,
right?
okay?
This
I'm gonna
knowledge
give an
would only be
argument.
like knowledge about fiction, like
Look,
Sherlock lived
don't
on
shout, okay? I'm
221
just gonna
B
give an
Street.
argument,
I've
right?
already
So the
brought
argument
this
that you
up,
present
right?
is simple,
You're
like
switching the burden of
reasons
proof
why more
to
realism is
try and
correct is
show that
because
I've done
you have
this,
you
right?
have two
But the
categories.
whole
You have the
argument that you're
category of
trying to bring
objective
up,
facts
right,
and
is
the
that we
category of
can't
subjective
do
facts.
this, right? And I'm saying that we cannot. I'm taking the negation to this point. I'm taking the negation to P, which is your argument. So you have to prove why we have knowledge about this fact, right? You can't just like switch the burden of proof as if it's nothing. I've already like gone over this point. And so
Yes,
yes, and so yes, pick. I don't know. I'm not
wait.
loud making.
If
I'm
you
just like
grant,
literally raising my voice. So
if
go
if
ahead
you
now.
grant,
Pick a
if
judge.
you grant, look,
Pick
just
a
calm down. If you
judge.
Mentality,
grant, just
Pick
calm
a
down. If you
judge.
grant, no, just calm
Pick
down.
a
mentality.
If you grant,
judge.
look,
Pick
wait,
a
hold on a second.
judge.
Wait,
Yeah,
Pick
wait.
a
listen
You
to
can have,
judge.
you
mentality.
can have Eric
Pick
judge.
a judge.
Yeah, pick a bloody
Eric,
judge.
Fiction isn't
but look,
objectively true, but we
you,
gain knowledge on it. Like it's the reason why we can
you
debate
grant.
JJK.
Wait, just calm down. Just turn your mic down,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. See, 6BK, he does. He thinks that anything I say is like loud miking. He thinks that like me raising my voice by like a single bolo, like single decibel is like me like loud
Just
miking.
turn your
Like
mic down,
I'm
okay?
loud
Just
miking,
turn your
guys.
mic
I'm
down.
loud miking. I'm like, do you? I have a question
Just
for you.
turn your
Like, do
mic
you like go
down.
around on the street like asking people why are you
Just
loud
turn your
miking?
mic
Why are you
down.
loud miking?
Just turn your mic down.
Hold on. I just want to quickly say, right, in one chapter, right, in JGK, we learn about Toji's past. It doesn't make it objectively true. Like, what the hell? As I said a second ago, fiction isn't objectively true. But we can, like, gain knowledge in it, right? Just because something isn't objectively true doesn't mean that we can't gain knowledge on it. It's the reason why people debate on JJK. For example, if there's a bit like on like Marky being over whoever, right? I mean, even like JJK, as I said just a second ago, right? We learn about Toji's past, but that doesn't make like everything in JJK objectively true, or Toji's past objectively true. We can know about something without it being objective.
Okay. So yeah, I asked Mentality for an argument for moral subjectivism. He then brought up the argument from Aquinas. I explained to him that me not being able to articulate how we gain knowledge of moral facts does not necessarily decrease the probability of my own hypotheses, right? Just because I can't mechanistically explain something to you doesn't mean that my position is less likely. I was unclear on whether he wanted me to give an argument for why moralism is more likely or why he was going to give an argument why moralism is less likely. But I explained to him that if it's the latter, then what he did doesn't actually fulfill his position. Because just because I can't point out to you the moral property or explain how that works does not necessarily mean that it's less likely. I pointed towards Derek Parker and said that it could just be something about the nature of suffering or something along those lines. But I'll just give an argument for more realism. I plagiarized this from T Jump, so if you watch T Jump, you probably have heard of this before. But let's just say you have two categories: the category of objective facts and the category of subjective facts. Okay. Now, if we're analyzing the data from both these categories, we'd seem to see that the category of objective facts, people seem to agree more on those over time. Whereas in terms of subjective facts, we don't see any convergence. So, for example, if we're talking about the category of subjective facts, let's say apples and oranges, what one's better? If we look at that from 500 years ago to now, we probably won't see anyone getting similar, having a similar opinion, right, over time, in a great extent. But for moral property, it seems to be the case, right? Maybe 1,000 years ago, right, rape was like normalized. For example, the rape of Sabine women, that was like a massive event, and it was kind of normalized. No one really cared. The rape of Nanking, for example, another issue. Now, if you ask someone is rape okay, they'll say no, right? So we see this sort of moral convergence. That's
Okay, hold on. Can I
customary
hear you say
for
something like you're
objective
like just
facts.
you're rambling now? But I just quickly say that I brought up queerness, right? The fact like it'd have to be like anything else in this world, and I've already talked about like the fact that we should we wouldn't know about this, right? And just letting you know, we've already talked about the fact, right, that you can't be aware or point out like the fact, right? That was my whole point, right? We already talked about fiction, right? Like just because like something isn't like objectively true, that doesn't mean like we can know. That doesn't mean that we can't know about it. I mean, that's the example of I've already given the example of like fiction, JJK. People debate on JJK all the time, right? And you can't just run away on like this point, right? And you said it'd be true because of some fact about the world, right? Well, why is it the case? We've already gone over this point, right? We've gone over like all these points, and like you're still like not understanding like the whole point, right? I've talked about this multiple times, right? We went over subjective values. We've already went over like the argument of queerness, right? And you haven't responded to any of the points at all, right? You brought up the fact that we could know about anything like that's like not objective, but then we've already talked about stuff such as fiction, which isn't objectively true. Unless you're trying to say cursed energy actually exists, which go ahead and try and apply second stance to that claim. It's really hard, right? So your point just doesn't really make sense at all, right? Your whole like the whole the whole point you're trying to present in this time, it just doesn't make any sense to anything. So we've gone over these points like every single time, and every single time you have not understood it, right? This is like the same with you trying to prove objective moral values. You didn't understand my point about the agent P. I mean, now we got to subjective values, saying I thought you'd be knowledgeable, and you don't understand it either, right? We talked about objective values, right? And we said it has to be anything like anything else in this world, and I've already questioned the epistemology of people and everyone as a whole. And I would say it had to be through suspicion faculty, like moral perception and intuition. You didn't tell us point, right? But then I asked you a single question which you didn't respond to. Why should we think we have any such faculty that puts us in touch with objective values? You never answered this point at all. So this point is still left unanswered, right? This whole point that I'm trying to bring up about we don't know. Like, how do we know? If we do know, where's the evidence, right? Not even just that. Even if objective values existed, we would have no way of being aware of them. So why don't we just conclude they don't exist? And you never respond to that last point. You've always been attacking constantly the first point. Objective values have to be anything else in the world. But you've never actually responded to it properly. I've gave you many arguments for this or against this, and you never respond to any of it.
Wait, can I
Okay,
interject
so
and clarify real
quite
quick?
frankly, to be
Please.
quite frank,
Wait,
I don't
what was
really.
that?
I just wanted to ask if I could interject. I'll clarify real quick.
For who?
Goons, check DMs. Yeah, that's all I had to say.
But yeah, I was gonna say I don't really feel like explaining my position again, so I'll just take whatever you just said as a conclusion. Nice summary. I'll just summarize my own position now. So first I gave an undergeneration argument in favor of more realism. He was utterly confused. He didn't really know what he was responding to. So I just said, look, we'll just drop the argument and you can give an.
Okay, I just want to quickly say why is the computer fucking gone, right? I didn't fucking kick him and I need other perms, you can check the perms, but I don't know what the fuck he's yapping about.
Wait, someone
We're talking
timed
about
out.
objective. Oh, someone timed him out?
Yeah.
Can someone untime him real quickly for
Someone
me?
called him a
You got
cheerleader.
timed out for 6 seconds.
Can someone untime him real quickly? Thank you. Whilst he's gone, right, I'll quickly just talk about what I said. For the objective values part, because he said that that was a conclusion, but
I'll get to
we
that.
went into hold on,
I'll
chill,
get to that.
because
I'll get to that. I said I'll get to it.
no, hold on. He says my conclusion, but that's not the conclusion. That's the point for the subjective values. But simply, I just want to quickly go over it, right? So I'm gonna go over
What?
every single
You're still
argument.
concluding?
What? Oh yeah. Hold on, because you try to say I concluded that whole point, but I want to go over this objective value point, right?
What?
So talking about anyways, we're talking about morality is subjective, right? And then he wants to we asked him to give his first argument for why morality is objective, right? And went on to that, right? And eventually, right, we were talking about categorical. What's it? Let me get it up. I think it's called categorical stand independent moral facts, right? And we're talking about the fact like I didn't see that, and like he talks about like stand independent facts. I just said like I don't see like a good reason for like why they would exist, right? And then he brings us like argue. What if we say we go to Israel for a month, but we don't desire to learn the language, but we do it because we need to understand people there? And I said, well, presumably understanding the people there accomplishes some goal for me. It might frustrate some of my other goals if I can't understand them. Maybe I just want to socialize, right? And I gave it, and then I talked about the whole argument. He gave me like the whole argument because he went over it like multiple times, and he gave me like the little extract. He said, if I'm going to travel to Israel for 6 months time, right, or 6 months time, my bad, right? Um, I will regret not knowing any Hebrew once I get there. Then I have a reason to study Hebrew now, even if I do not care about my future regrets or about whether I know Hebrew while I'm in Israel. Yet internalist, these place constraints on what now have a reason to do on the basis of what my actual psychology is like now, or on the basis of what counterfactuals are true of me now. So they appear to have a problem of getting their intuitive judgments about reasons right. And then basically said this is about internalism slash externalism with regards to reasons, right? And I said to him, I just don't understand why having a reason to do something to mean it has a means and relationship between the end and the action, right, or an aim and action. My bad. And he said, what if they try to argue, or what if you try to argue, moral realism, right? And we're talking about like I'm just like saying about understanding the reasons is, as far as I can tell, not susceptible to the objection, because I'm just saying that me having a reason to study Hebrew just means that it would fulfill some goal I have. There's no more weight to it than that, right? It doesn't have to do with my psychology in any other way that means end relationship, right? And I said, C said under that view, he would have no reason to learn the language. And I just said, I don't know what that means. Like, can you can't, and I said, can't you just, I'm just like, you still Duolingo or something like that, right? And then he said, what if his stance, if he doesn't care to learn it, under that view, it would follow he has no reason to learn the Hebrew language, independent of his stance. And I just said, if it accomplishes no aim, goal, desire to do so, I don't see why I had a reason to. But it seems like that's not really the case anyway, because it does not fulfill my desires or goals. It's just an issue of epistemic access. Maybe I don't realize that it fulfills my aims, but I don't really see how it's relevant. It's not independent of my stance, it's not made true independent of my stances. That's the whole point. It's still only hypothetically binding on some goal or aim I have. Whether or not
Fuck!
realize so is just a different subject.
It's like someone
And
scratching
he said
cardboard in my ear.
he's going to regret learning
Or
Hebrew
like
when he's about six
or like
months
a
in the past, but
chalkboard.
he doesn't care about not learning it. Simply went over this like learning point. After a while, right, we got into like his like poison argument, right? Um,
Fuck.
and his poison analogy, right, was just saying if a man has a desire to not take a drug, he knows he'll take a lot of pain. He knows in the future he'll regret it and doesn't care about it now. If in the future desires or current desires not to take the drug, and they said, well, there can be tanto reasons, reasons for and against, doing something. I can have reasons X and reasons to not X. It's not a contradiction if they're just understood as pre-tanto. Presumably, if he regrets doing it, then then he has all things considered reasons to not X, aka taking the drug, summing up all the desires, right? And after a while, I just like explain like pro-tanto to him. If you want me to, I can explain it. But that's not really needed in a sense. But yeah, that's like really like I mean, there's like a bit more to it, but like he just dropped the point. So that point like really has like no weight or like value in like the debate. Um, and then we went into subjective values, which I've already explained, and I think I like beat the fuck out of them, like really bad in that point. Oh wait, by the way, guys, my bad for like going on for like the past like 5-10 minutes, like the whole tangent. You go ahead now. See.
Yeah, so I'm gonna see if I can maybe summarize this in 1 minute 30 seconds because that's what conclusion is meant to be. So we were talking about fucking what's it called? The undergeneration argument in favor of more realism. Like he was confused. Eric was saying he's confused in my DMs, calling him a retard. So we just talked about that, and I was like, yeah, this guy's really fucking dumb. And then we concluded on that. I said I'll just drop it so we can get to your argument instead, because after like maybe like 30 minutes of me trying to explain the same thing to him 18 different times, he just didn't really understand. Didn't understand overdetermination, any of those things. And quite frankly, I don't debate to lecture. I debate to talk and have intellectual discussions with people. If you want to have a lecture, go ask your teacher to explain stuff to you, not me. And that's kind of how I was feeling. So I said, you know what, bro? Instead of having a lecture, let's just move on to why your argument is true, your position is true. So just to be clear, that whole excerpt thing, a whole point where he's talking about queerness, that was for his argument. Now, we both have hypotheses that are contrary. I believe that moral properties and moral facts are mind independent. He believes that they're mind dependent. Now, his argument from queerness is supposed to either raise the likelihood of or necessitate his position. And I explained to him why it doesn't do this. I explained to him why I can grant that moral properties are strange. We might not be able to identify them through the same means that we identify other facts. They might be due to some sort of moral perception type of thing. And that's completely fine, right? Like, we can have this type of thing. Why does that mean that your position is more likely? He kept repeating the claim, you cannot identify more facts, okay? You can't identify more facts. I was telling him, well, look, bro, I want an argument for that. I'm interested in that. He said, no, he's not going to give an argument. So he didn't give an argument for why we can never identify more facts. I was like, okay, do you want me to give an argument for my position, or are you going to give an argument for your own position? He said, listen, respond to the argument. And he started raising his mic volume. So now I started panicking because I was like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. What do I do? What do I do? Because in 5 minutes' time, he's going to fucking loud mic me and I'm going to be able to give the argument. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll just give an argument that I got from T-Jump that I plagiarized from him. Because keep in mind, I'm not even a realist, right? I just plagiarized this argument from T-Jump. I was like, let me just use it. So I was like, okay, we have these two categories. We have the category of objective facts and the category of subjective facts. And it would seem that in objective facts, we only see convergence of those, right? If we have, like, I don't know, time from, like, I don't know, 500 years ago to now, and we say, who likes apples more than oranges? Is there any convergence between any of these positions? We wouldn't see that. But also paradox, you can just, like, go away. I don't know why you keep talking about me in chat. However, in terms of objective facts, we do see convergence, right? So objective facts, or not objective facts, but convergence is customary to objective facts and not subjective facts. So if we see moral convergence, which I explained that we do, for example, with rape in the elder days, right, where dem used to exist, you know, that was normalized, right? We used to have the rape of disobedient women, which I can just send an image of in chat, give me a sec. Rape of disobedient women right there, which is like this like event where I think it was the Romans who just like raped some other civilization for some sort of wives and stuff like that. Like, it was crazy, and this was kind of
You never
normalized.
brought that up, so don't even try and bring
Wallahi, I
that
brought it
up.
up. Wallahi, I brought it up. You can check the record. But yeah,
Stop! No,
I
no,
brought it
no. I
up.
don't want you to bring it
I
back to the
brought it up.
argument that
I
was
brought
like
it
in
up because some
conclusions.
I brought it up. Wallahi, I brought it up. Wallahi, I brought it
Okay,
up.
okay. Like, what's timestamp then?
Look, I'll get it for you, right? But if
I
I bring it
bet.
up, if I get the time stuff, because quite frankly, I don't feel like going back into debate. But if I get it for you, can you concede?
Huh?
Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
So I brought up.
no. What'd you say? What'd you say?
I said if I bring the time stuff for you, will you concede?
Like the whole debate?
Yeah.
No. If you bring it
Okay.
up right and
Okay.
show
Okay.
me that
Look,
like
I'll
hold on
bring
hold on
it for
hold
you
on. Hold on.
later. I'll
If
bring
you
it for you
bring it
later.
up right and show me that like hold on,
I'll bring
chill.
it for you
If
later.
you bring it
I'll bring
up
it for
right and
you
show me that
I'll
like you
bring it
said
for you
that,
later.
I'll say that like you said that. I'll be
Bring it
fine
for
with
you
that.
later.
If you have to show me
Wait,
that,
why
like,
don't you
but I
just
can see that.
wait,
Look,
mentality, mentality. Why don't you just let him finish, and then if he doesn't bring it up, just void it
right, holy shit.
after.
Okay, look.
That's fine. That's fine.
I'm saying I did say that, right? But like I don't gain anything from bringing it up. You can go through the recording yourself and try to prove I didn't say it. Or you can upload it to YouTube or something. But yeah, like I brought up the whole like rapists being women. And I said the rapists being women or the rape of Nanking. That's also something I mentioned. I said, look, these two things back then would be horrible. If you ask anyone now is rape okay, they will say how horribly not, right? They will say it's not okay. And that's like this moral convergence that we see. We see this with a lot of moral claims. So I said that moral claims seem to fit under the objective set rather than the subjective set of propositions. And you know, he just didn't really respond. So I actually gave some sort of hypothesis or sort of like likelihood increasing evidence for my position. He didn't. I think I kind of won this debate. I won polls as well, which is insane because I lost polls to Hero today. So even in a biased server, I'm still winning polls against you. I think you should just take some time to read. The Stanford article I sent to you. I can send you some articles on overdetermination as well and generation. And then yeah.
Whoa. Okay, I don't know about like the point you saying that